Hello, and welcome to Crossover, the trivia game show about all things nerdy. Our contestants joining us today are Matthew, Andrew, and Jack. Now, what do nerds love more than games? Playing mini-games. A game of Crossover consists of several mini-games of trivia, each with their own set of rules. I'll go over the rules before we start each minigame, so you'll know how they all work. Our first minigame is called Doctored. I'm going to show you an image, and something has been changed about that image. Something is wrong with it. Maybe something's added, maybe something's been removed, whatever. Your goal is to tell me what that thing is. Here is our first doctored image. Matthew.
I think he needs his cloak. His cloak is missing, right?
His cloak is missing.
Okay.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, this is Doctor Strange.
Has a very iconic big red cloak. The whole dang thing was gone.
It does look quite strange.
He's also been doctored.
Oh man, we wasted no time jumping into terrible puns, didn't we?
All right, so we're gonna do our next doctored image. What's wrong with this? Andrew.
Where's the don't panic?
There is not a don't panic on this cover.
Well, then that's not a cover I want.
Fair enough. That is not the answer I'm looking for, though.
Can I buzz again?
You can buzz again after Matthew.
Okay.
I think he's missing like some goofy hands, right? Isn't he making fun of you and sticking his tongue out at you?
Well, he's sticking his tongue out right there, but you are correct. The planet is supposed to have big old hands like that. So that is 2 for Matthew.
I'm gonna win this one, guys.
You need a win.
I do. Desperately.
Our third doctored image is Andrew.
Okay. I don't know. I thought I had the last one, but I'm gonna say there's no Navi in this picture saying, "Hey, listen."
While Navi certainly could accompany Link, that is not what's wrong with this image specifically.
Okay.
Jack is next.
Andrew may or may not have taken the answer I was going to give, so I'm going to say that I don't know. His shield is supposed to be a different color.
That is not correct, unfortunately.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Matthew, what is your guess?
I can't tell 100%, but I feel like his sheath is supposed to be farther out. Like you're supposed to be able to see his blue and gold sheath.
That is not what is wrong with this image specifically.
Buzz. You actually released it, so I could buzz again.
I did. Andrew, go ahead.
Okay. I think Link is actually left-handed.
Andrew?
Which means the image should be reversed.
You are correct. This is an image specifically of Link from Ocarina of Time, in which case he was left-handed. Link was always left-handed up until the Wii came out, and it became a problem because most of the world are right-handed, and you're using a Wii nunchuck. And so they actually switched it for Skyward Sword and I believe Breath of the Wild. But Link was always a left-handed hero. So
I feel attacked by this question as the only non-Southpaw present that you would even include it is...
You may have forgotten our host.
Oh, Jason, I thought all you boys were lefties.
yeah, no, just be better.
Dang it, I can't believe I didn't get that. All right.
That was a tricky one. They're getting harder as they go on. For this minigame, we only have 4 images. So this is going to be our last image. Jack, you've already buzzed.
No, it had scrolled down. I was trying to slide it up and it buzzed in.
All right, everything's reset. So this will be our final image. Jack.
Is there supposed to be a bottle of alcohol in his hand?
That would not be out of character, but not specifically for this image. Andrew, next.
Well, I was going to say, where's the rum gone?
We're on the same wavelength.
I will say that he is looking far too confident for a man who never has any idea what's going on.
That would be really impressive if I photoshopped all of his facial features to be more confident without it looking like a mess. But I'm Thanks for that compliment, I guess. Matthew, do you have a guess?
I was really hoping I could think of what it was in the time they were guessing. Is he supposed to have like a parrot or a monkey on his shoulder? I know it's the other guy that has the animal, but is he supposed to have like a pet on his shoulder?
He does not. I think, Captain Barbosa, I believe, has a pet monkey.
That's who I'm thinking of. Yeah.
But that is incorrect. Buzzers are reset if you wish to guess again. Otherwise, this is a hard one, for sure.
I only ever saw the first one. I just have no idea.
That's fair. Matthew, you buzzed.
I think what's missing is that he is not as handsome as Orlando Bloom. You know, I think that's what's really missing here. I really wish I was looking at Orlando Bloom and not Captain.
Gotcha. So this whole image I'm showing you should instead be...
The whole image is just you gave us the wrong one, actually.
No disrespect to Johnny Depp, but that's always true, Matthew. That has nothing to do with this image. We would always rather be looking at Orlando.
Andrew, do you have another guess?
I have a guess. I can't remember if you said that something's been removed in every case, but you said it's been changed in every case. So I'm going to guess something has been added, and I'm going to say that it's one of those revolvers or pistols.
That is a very good guess, but incorrect. Okay. I think I will call it for this last one. It is a very small, but if you know Pirates of the Caribbean well enough, detail. Captain Jack Sparrow has a little X-shaped scar on his cheek.
Oh my god!
Whoa!
That I had removed.
Are you kidding me? That's
like 3 pixels on my laptop.
Well, get a bigger laptop. I don't know. That's not my fault.
I was looking at the sky. I was like, does it look photoshopped? Like,
so that means Matthew got 2 of those correct. I believe Andrew got 1 correct. Jack got none. So Matthew will take that first point.
Yes.
I'm going to be honest. I'm starting to panic.
Already after the first question.
Don't panic.
No. The book did not write it in big friendly letters.
That means I'm allowed to panic.
I don't feel comfortable.
Andrew, I think there was a different cover that had "Don't Panic" on it.
No, it's literally the same cover. I know that.
I know what you're talking about. I'm not sure if it's the exact thing, but the image that I pulled up of the cover did not have it, and it was not one that I removed. So
fair enough.
So Matthew's at 1 point, and we are going to move on to our second minigame. This minigame is called Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I'm going to show you several vehicles or vessels in some form, and your goal is to simply name all of them. This is going to be one where you're going to write down, and in this case, we're going to be looking at Star Wars ships or vehicles.
We're going for the exact name of like the class of vehicle, if like X-Wing or TIE Fighter or whatever.
You should be as specific as possible. So if it is a ship that has an actual name, you should try to give that to me. If you don't believe it has an actual name, you should give me the class. If you want to be safe, you can give me both. But I'm going to want the name if the name is well known enough, right?
I'm just going to write down Millennium Falcon right now.
Sorry, I didn't make it that easy.
I was going to say, there's no way Jason put a Millennium Falcon in here.
But then I'm not going to get any right, Jason.
We'll see. Here are your ships.
I think I'm good.
Yeah, I think I'm set.
Okay, Andrew?
Yep, I'm good.
All right. So, Matthew, go ahead and walk us through the names of these ships.
All right, first up, we got the Home One. I think this is what it was called. It's like a calamari ship. I think that's what it was called in Return of the Jedi, episode 6. Luke is holding a model of a T-16 Skyhopper, I believe. The third one is the Venator, the Super Star Destroyer. I think there was only one Super Star Destroyer, but I wrote S Star Destroyer down as well, just in case. The fourth one is the Gungan Sub. I don't think it had a name other than Gungan Sub. Fifth one is Boba Fett's ship, the Slave One, or Jango Fett's ship, depending on how you want to classify it. And the last one, I don't think has a specific name. It's Darth Maul's Sith Infiltrator, I believe. So I'm pretty confident on these. So these are my final answers.
All right. Jack, go ahead and give us your answers.
All right. Number 1, Rebel ship, because I had no idea. T-16 Hopper is what I wrote. Skyhopper sounds right, so I might have missed that word. But Star Destroyer, Gungan Sub. I don't know if you can see all these. Slave One, that was the only one I knew without a doubt. And then I wrote TIE Interceptor because that's kind of what it looked like to me, but I'm guessing on most of these.
Okay. Andrew, go ahead and give us your answers.
All right. I also started with Home One. I think it's a Mon Calamari cruiser. T-16 Skyhopper. I think that Super Star Destroyer is the Executor. I think the Venator might be the old style of Super Star Destroyer from like the second movie or something. Or the Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, no.
I also just put Gungan Sub, couldn't think of its name, if it has one. Slave One, and I just got Darth Maul's ship, so that's all I had.
Let's go ahead and give you the answers. So, that first ship is, in fact, Home One, a Mon Calamari battle cruiser that we see in Return of the Jedi.
I like Mon Calamari deep fried as an appetizer.
Captained by Admiral Akbar, who would take offense at your joke.
Yeah, in the Star Wars world, that's very racist.
How dare you?
The second one is, in fact, the T-16 Skyhopper. Jack, you didn't have Sky. That is close enough for me, so you did get that one there.
So if the answer was supposed to be Luke Skywalker, he could just call him Luke Walker. That doesn't seem right to me.
I'm not going to win this one, Matthew. Let me have my pity point.
Wait, is he the character from Walker, Texas Ranger?
Yeah, I think so.
The third ship here is, in fact, the Executor, the Venator, were the old-style Republic Star Destroyer type ships. So that is going to be one for Andrew. The third one does, in fact, have a more specific name. I don't know if the ship itself is named this, but the class of ship is a bongo submarine, not just a Gungan sub. So that would be not a point for any of you. Slave One is, in fact, that ship there. And then the last one is the Sith Infiltrator, Darth Maul's ship. It actually does have a name. It's called the Scimitar. However, I didn't know that till I looked it up. I'd never heard that before, so I didn't put that as the answer because Sith Infiltrator, I think, was pretty good. Close enough, so.
It's certainly not in the movies.
It's not in the movies.
I don't think it's in the shows either, so it's...
To be fair, I don't think they call it a Sith Infiltrator in the movies either because who would even refer to it except for Darth Maul, who has one line, two lines?
There is a Lego set of it and a Star Wars Young Jedi card of it, so I know that much.
That means, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Jack had 2 of these correct, Matthew had 4 correct, and Andrew also had 4 correct. So that means that Andrew is at 1 point, Matthew is currently at 2 points overall, and Jack has none at the moment, but looking to get his first point. So,
just wait for the movie questions.
Oh.
Just wait for the movie questions. Yes. Jack will catch up.
I'm sure Jason has continued to supply me with
sprinkle them in.
Yeah, exactly.
There is a movie question. We're going to go into our third minigame here, which is Tagline. I'm going to give you several taglines of classic board games. Tagline or slogan. You are going to need to tell me what the board game is based off of only the tagline. We're just going to jump right into it. Matthew, go ahead and give us your answers.
I feel good about most of these, but there's 1 or 2. So I think the first one, the game of Sweet Revenge, is Sorry, which is ironic. The world's most popular board game, I think, is Monopoly, but I don't know for sure. The game of Unspeakable Fun is the most generic title ever. Like, hopefully every game is fun, but I put catchphrase because you can't speak the word, so it's like funny. I don't know. Number 4, skill game where you're the doctor, I think, is Operation. The game of global domination is Risk. A sweet game for sweet little folks is Candyland. A game of zany action in a crazy contraption, I think that's Mousetrap, though I've never played. The ultimate stacking game's gotta be Jenga, and a game that ties you up in knots, I think, is Twister. So that is my list. I feel good about 7 of these, and the other 2, I feel okay.
All right. Jack, go ahead and give us your answers.
Well, Matthew and I agreed on 8 out of the 9. So I put Sorry as the game of Sweet Revenge. I'll show my sheet in a second. Monopoly as the world's most popular board game, because at least at one point it was. It's got to be. The one I disagreed, and I'm not sure if I'm right, but the game of Unspeakable Fun, I feel like would be charades, which feels wrong because you don't need a board, but I don't know if it was a game that was produced at one point, like with certain answers. So I'm going to go charades.
I had that thought too.
And then Operation, Risk, Candyland, Mousetrap, Jenga, and Twister.
All right. Andrew.
Well, believe it or not, I have 8 of the same answers as Jack and Matthew, and the only place I differed is the Game of Unspeakable Fun.
Nice.
So I went with Taboo.
Oh, I was thinking about that one too.
That's a good answer.
So I feel pretty good about how I did because we all match on all but one of
I
them.
think we're pretty sure.
So it's really a question of if one of the three of you got that one correct.
Yeah.
That's
Feels
really what
like,
it comes
yeah.
down to. Because you could be
Dibs.
you could be have 8 correct, or you could have 8 wrong. It doesn't matter. You're gonna have the same, right?
What if we're all wrong on this one though?
That would be called a 3-way tie. So we're gonna start walking through. Game of Sweet Revenge is in fact Sorry. World's most popular board game is Monopoly. Skill game where you are the doctor. Operation. Game of Global Domination is in fact Risk. Sweet little game for sweet little folks is Candyland. A game of zany action and a crazy contraption is Mousetrap. The ultimate stacking game is Jenga. A game that ties you up in knots is Twister. So you are all 8 for 8 on those. However, the Game of Unspeakable Fun is Taboo.
No.
The second he said it, I knew.
I think all 3 of those were very good guesses. And honestly, I was hoping this one would be a little harder, the question overall. I knew some of them were easy. But that was the one that I was like, this will be a hard one. So I'm glad that it came down to that.
And I even thought about Taboo.
Well, if we'd all gotten it wrong, I had the tiebreaker anyway, because Matthew didn't put an exclamation point on Sorry, and Jack put a question mark.
The funny thing is I almost put an exclamation mark, but then I was like, not sure if there was one, and I knew you guys would call me out and say he put an exclamation mark, which is incorrect, and he should be, penalized.
I mean, according to Jason's pictures, though, Risk should also have an exclamation mark.
It's a good
So
point.
I feel like
We all got that
I feel
one
like
wrong.
we got a little leniency.
And Mousetrap is 2 words and followed by game.
Oh no.
Mousetrap game.
Andrew's going to get that point, which makes our
Tying it
score 2 Andrew, 2 Matthew, 0 Jack.
I gotta run the table now.
Our 4th question is, the jig is up. I am going to give you a jigsaw grid. And at one at a time, I'm going to fill that grid in with puzzle pieces. The image that is being revealed is an iconic movie scene. Tell me the movie based off of the scene. Here we go.
Oh, these are moving fast.
I can do it slower. I'm doing it manually.
I still have no idea what it is.
Matthew.
I think this is the Truman Show at the end of the movie.
That is correct.
No! And if I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Literally, you started doing it, and I was like, "This is just a giant sky. What is this?"
Yeah, my first thought was Toy Story with like the clouds on Andy's wall.
That's what I was thinking too.
So Matthew's going to get the point for that one. Putting him at 3.
I told you guys, you both won the last 2 episodes. I'm gonna win this one.
Not allowed.
I'm pulling for you, Andrew.
Thanks, Jack.
We have 2 questions left, so it is not locked up by any means.
Jack, you can get both of them. I don't care as long as Andrew doesn't get them.
Maybe I'll just I'll say enough to give Andrew the hint.
No. I'm gonna try as hard as I can. Never mind.
Andrew, I'm gonna start texting you.
No conspiracy here. Everyone's playing for themselves. All right, we're going to go on to our next minigame. This is called Many Hats. I'm going to show you several actors who have played characters in Star Trek. Your goal is to tell me which of the actors have played 3 or more characters among all of the Star Trek series.
I know you like to be tricky. How are we defining characters? Because if you go on IMDb, like the entire which is it? I think cast of Voyager, they have a second credit because in the one episode where the Doctor, author creates a holonovel based on them and slightly changes them, they're credited with those names as well. So I just want to understand.
You're 100% correct.
Okay.
That's a fair question. I do like being tricky, but I never want you to feel like I lied to you in some way. There are if I do include characters such as that, there will be at least 3 full different characters with no gimmicks or funny business of any kind. Here are your actors.
Okay, there's already 1 or 2 that I knew would be on here.
I tried not to do too many of the ones that are like really obvious. I think the one that comes up that I hear the most is Jeffrey Combs.
Right.
The 2 I always hear is Jeffrey Combs and J.G. Hertzler, and I don't see either of them here.
Which
So
I specifically omitted both of those.
Oh man. Okay. So
This is terrible.
guys, I gotta take a quick IMDb break if you don't mind.
I'm going to take a quick disqualifying Matthew break.
No. I'm just joking.
Okay, Matthew, go ahead and walk us through your answers.
I got Mark Alimo. He plays Ducat, Gol Masset in Next Gen, and then he plays like a Romulan in the first season of Next Gen, I think, at least. Majel Barrett plays... She plays someone in the original series, right? Like Nurse Chappelle or something. But then she's also the computer in the Loxana Troy, and I think a character or 2 more. So I think it's at least 3. Brent Spiner plays Data and Lore and Dr. Noonien Soong, I believe. So that's 3 characters. Tim Russ, I don't know. I know he's done 2. Tuvok, and then someone from like Next Gen, but I think he's done a 3rd, so that's a bit of a guess. Ethan Phillips has done 3. I'm almost positive. He did 1 in Enterprise, he did Neelix in Voyager, and he did someone in another Ferengi in Next Gen. Max Grodenchik, I also think he did 3. I know he did 2 because he did a Ferengi. He did a Rom in DS9, and then he did a Ferengi in Next Gen. I think he did a 3rd. And then I have Jonathan Frakes as like a wild card because he did William T. Riker and Thomas Riker, his like clone, and I feel like he did a 3rd. The only one I left on this list was Michelle Forbes, who I can't remember who she played, but I feel like she looks like a really... I don't know why this is blanking my
Nose
mind right
Ridge.
now. Oh my gosh.
Well, Jack can probably tell us.
Well, Michelle Forbes is Ro Laren.
I don't know why. I just couldn't remember.
So, okay, Tim Russ, 100% was the first one I knew was because he did a guest spot on Next Gen when there's a bunch of thieves on the ship, thieves or I don't know what you call it, and Picard's like the only one there who can deal with it because the ship is undergoing a cleaning. Anyways, I got to give all that background. So Tim Russ was in that episode. He was also in like the first season of Deep Space Nine as a Klingon. There's a card of him, and then obviously Tuvok. Brent Spiner was the real clear, like everyone knows he's been in a ton. Majel Barrett, everything you said, Matthew. She was also in the pilot as like the first officer.
Oh, as number 1, yeah.
Yeah, because I'd actually forgotten Nurse Chappelle.
I think that was her only name in the pilot.
I thought of the pilot and then the computer in the Loxana. But Ethan Phillips, I know he was in First Contact as the holographic Maitre D, and then Neelix, and I'm guessing he was in another one. I said no. I just wrote yeses and nos. I should show this. Michelle Forbes, I can't think of anything else she was in. Max Grodenchik, I'm terrified now that Matthew got it right because if we're counting Mirror Universe, he was as different. He was Mr. Rom and then whatever Matthew said. But I said no, so I got to stick with no. I thought Jonathan Frakes was also a wild card, but I couldn't think of anything other than Thomas and Will Riker. And Mark Alimo, I genuinely couldn't think of anyone other than Ducat, so I just went... We're not counting the Bajoran version of him as a different character, are we?
It is the same character. It is still Ducat, even if he's playing a different character. So
no, his name was like Angel Tanan. He was a farmer, Jack. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know, but like I had at the very last second, I was like, "Crap! Do I move him? No." So I stuck with it.
Andrew, go ahead and give us your answers.
I also couldn't think of anything for Mark Alimo, like aside from Ducat. I feel like I've heard he's been in a lot, but I also just couldn't think of any characters, so I didn't put him down. Majel Barrett, yep, all the same things you said. Brent Spiner was also before just have to show he's got another role that I know about.
He was also in Picard, which I don't know if you guys have seen Picard, but
Unfortunately.
Matthew, I also could not remember who the heck Michelle Forbes was, so I actually put her down because I couldn't think of a single character she played, and I was like, that's got to be a trick.
Jason would pull something like that, but I don't think he was anticipating us not remembering that she was Roland.
I will say, I thought these were all ones that you know the main character they play.
I actually have not gotten that far in Next Gen. I'm working my way through it, but I've actually never seen the whole show.
Jack, I wasn't the only one. Because I said that last week and you roasted me for it.
Yeah, well, I can be disappointed in multiple brothers at the same time.
So Andrew, those are just the three you had?
Yeah, I thought Tim Russ had a second, but I didn't know if he had a third, and I actually didn't remember any duplicates for Ethan Phillips or Max Grodenchik, although now I do remember Holographic Doctor for Ethan Phillips. And the only one I could think of for Jonathan Frakes was the two Rikers, and I was like, are they even different characters? They're literally the same person, but now with different experiences.
Which I think would be the definition, a definition of different people, right?
Their personalities are completely different.
I'm just saying, if we're not counting mirror versions of the same people, that feels like even more different than clones of the same person.
Let's go ahead and get to the answers. So we're going to start with Mark Alaimo. He is, of course, Dukat. He has also played Golmaset, Tabak, a Romulan in Next Gen, Badar Nunde, which I wouldn't expect you to know, but some random guy in Next Gen. He was Frederick LaRoque in Time's Arrow, and he was Burt Ryan in Far Beyond the Stars, one of the cops. So 6 different characters that Mark Alaimo has acted as, if not more. I picked the ones I could find. But so then we're going to go on to Majel Barrett. She is, of course, number 1, Christine Chapel, Loxana Troy, and the computer for most, if not all, of Starfleet's ships and stations. Brent Spiner, who's played Data, Lore, Noonien Sung, B4, Eric Sung from Enterprise, and Alton Inigo Sung from Picard. So, 6 different characters, every single character in the Soong or the Soong-type android family. And then we get to Michelle Forbes, who is, of course, as we should all know, Ro Laren. She also plays one character in a one-off episode in Next Gen named Dara, but she does not have any other appearances. Number 5 is Tim Russ, who has played Tuvok. Jack, you're 100%. Devore, one of the thieves in that episode where they try to steal some stuff from the Warp Core or something from the Enterprise. Takar, a Klingon, in another thieving episode where they board Deep Space Nine. I believe that's the one where they try to steal the Dax symbiote. And then here is an example. I have Tuvok Mirror. That is like a fuzzy one, but there are at least 3 characters that are not. There's nothing wrong, nothing gimmicky about. So moving on to Ethan Phillips, who is Neelix, Ferric, which is a Ferengi from Next Gen, the Maitre D in First Contact, the holographic one, and also another Ferengi in Enterprise, Euless. Going on to Max Grodenchik, he is of course Rom, but he also plays 2 different Ferengi in Next Gen, Sovak and Parlanor. He also is, of course, the Mirror Rom, but he's also Gint in
Quark's Dream.
Oh, yeah.
Both Gint and the Mirror Rom are a little bit weird, because Gint, I believe, happens in it's either a dream or maybe it's an orb experience from Quark.
It's a dream, I think.
So those you could call, shenanigans on, but he does have at least 3 full characters. So
do they not take Max seriously enough to see he could be more than just a Ferengi?
I will say, actually, Jack, I believe it's Insurrection, there is a deleted scene where Max Grodenchik plays a Trill with no lines, and who is literally just seen kind of in the background. But you can kind of tell it's him. But it was a deleted scene, so it's not canon, so I didn't include it. But it's there. Anyway, and that brings us to William Riker, or rather, Jonathan Frakes, who has played Will Riker and Thomas Riker, but no other characters.
No! I missed getting all of them right.
Yeah, me too.
Wait, did you get everything else?
I got everything else. I didn't have Michelle Forbes. I did have John Frakes. That's 2 wrong. And I had everyone else on there.
I was going to say, I believe that means Andrew got 3 correct, Jack got 6 correct, and Matthew got 7 correct.
Yes!
Man.
Jack, very close there.
I almost switched Max Grodenchik like a couple times, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't remember anything else.
We are going to move on to our final round, which is, as always, theme up. I'm going to show you 4 images one at a time. They are all relating to a central theme, and you have to tell me that theme. You have 2 guesses overall. You can use them whenever you want, 1 per image, but only 2 guesses per person total. So make sure to use them wisely, but not too wisely. Make sure to try to get your guess in before everybody else does. So here is your first image. Jack, you have a guess?
Yes. Is the theme something to do with clones?
Jack, you got it.
What?
I thought it was the guy from The Prestige. I couldn't be sure.
Spoiler alert.
I didn't know who it was.
I really thought if there was a guess here, it would have been maybe magicians or something like that. Obviously, that's very surface level, but
Well, yeah, that was my very first thought, but I was like, no, that's basic. And then I was like, but this is, I'm pretty sure this image is not actually of the original, is it Angier's? Or I mix the 2 characters up a lot.
It is Angier.
Angier, okay. I was like, I think this is actually an image of a clone, so.
Well, great job. You got it on the first image, which we haven't had before.
I didn't get shut out. That's all I care about.
You did not get shut out.
I was thinking that, Jack. I was like, if I can get this before you.
Jack, let's see how many of the other ones that I show you can tell me, just for the fun of it. So here would be your second image.
I have no idea what that is.
I don't know if I would have gotten that. I know who it is. I don't know if I would have gotten clones off of it.
I mean, it's a Captain Falcon.
It is an off-color Captain Falcon.
I assume it's a different character from F-Zero X.
It is a different character who is that. So it's not Captain Falcon. It is obviously a clone of him. His name is Blood Falcon. He's a character you can play as in F-Zero X.
I guess he is. I don't know that much about the F-Zero lore. I just raced the game.
He is a clone that I believe his goal is to either destroy Captain Falcon or just beat him in races or something like that. Third one is the one where it's supposed to get a little easier, so you should all know.
Yeah.
It looks exactly like Picard. Exactly. I see it, and it's a spitting image of Picard.
Because he's bald.
Okay, so I'm not the only one who was super confused when that movie came out and he was supposed to be a clone of Picard.
Our fourth image would have been this one.
Is that a magic art of clones?
It is the original one.
It is the original art for the Magic Card clone.
So Jack didn't need this. He needed just the first image to get cloned.
I think the rest of the images would have messed me up.
That's actually so funny, yeah. Because Andrew and I might have had an idea about the rest of these.
There you go. So that is going to leave our final score. Jack with 1 point, Andrew with 2 points, and Matthew with 4 points, making him our third winner and giving each of you 1 win thus far on Crossover.
That's right.
I did it. I'm not a loser.
I'm very proud of it.
This game show cannot determine whether or not someone is a loser.
I feel like winning at the show is kind of losing in a different way, if you think about it.
Well, there you go. You're all losers. So, well, thank you all for playing Crossover, and thank you all for watching, and hope to see you next time.